Alright, so in this video I'm going to share with you how to get free money from the pharmacies without stealing a thing. What's up guys, my name is Felix Wisniewski. I've been doing the very exact thing that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video since 2015. I've made a boatload of money doing it and I want to share with you exactly what it is. So what we're going to be talking about in today's video is the business of buying and reselling over-the-counter diabetic testing supplies. Now here's a quick stat from the CDC, right? I got this right from the government's website, the cdc.gov, and it says a national diabetes statistics report. Now, I've seen this report multiple times. This was actually done back in 2021, and it says there are 38.4 million people of all ages that actually have diabetes. That's 11.6% of the US population. Now we're in 2025, July in fact. I would bet you that number is actually much higher, if not, 40, 50, 60 million. And then you have to account for all the people that are, might not know they have diabetes, or maybe they're pre-diabetic. So that number could very well be much, much higher. So right now it's 38.4 million. Basically 1 in 10 people or 1 in 11 people have diabetes. But the thing about that is they all get a surplus of supplies. So every single person in that 38.4 million number get a surplus of diabetic supplies. But from who, right? Well, from the pharmacy, right? Pharmacies give these people a surplus of supplies. Very rarely do I see people who are diabetics get, 1 or 2 or 3 boxes like they actually need per month. My father, for example, he's been a diabetic basically his entire life. He gets 10 to 15 boxes of diabetic test strips every single month. But he doesn't need 10 to 15 boxes per month. In fact, he only needs about 2 to 3 boxes per month. So with that surplus, eventually they're going to stack up and they're going to expire. And I know basically 4 things about every single diabetic. 1, they get a surplus of supplies. 2, they don't need those surplus of supplies. 3, they're going to let them expire. And then 4, they're going to throw them out. So one of those things are definitely going to happen, if not more. So they get a surplus of supplies, they don't need them, they won't use them, they're either going to throw them out or they're going to let them expire. So enter the resellers, right? Resellers enter the chat. So people like myself and people maybe like you, if you decide to start this business, will actually offer to pay cash for these people's surplus of diabetic supplies. And these people have no problem selling them, right? This is different than a business like buying and reselling electronics, because most of the time, right, I actually have an extra iPhone right here. Most of the time, people have emotional attachment to these phones, to these electronics. They don't want to just let them go for, cheap or for free, where with these supplies, these people have literally no attachment to these supplies. So resellers like myself and maybe you and anybody else watching this video, we put out simple offline and online marketing. So online can be a little bit more trickier, but offline marketing like signs, flyers, business cards, Craigslist, it's very simple. Like you don't need a marketing degree by any means to do it. So we put out marketing materials looking to pay cash for people's diabetic testing supplies and testing strips. Something like this, right? Very, very basic. People call us up and then we buy them based off the resale value. So Felix, how do you know what the resale value is? Who buys these? Are we reselling to other diabetics? Are we reselling to, are we cold calling? Are we door knocking? No, we sell to big name wholesalers / buyers / pharmacies with dedicated price sheets, right? Now we pay our clients with cash, Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, etc. And then once we buy the supplies, we then turn around and resell them to these big name buyers with dedicated price sheets. So all day long, we know X is selling for $60 a box, or this is selling for $50 a box. So it doesn't matter if we have 1 box or 1,000 boxes, our buyers have dedicated price sheets for these products. And if you don't have these dedicated buyers, you can then go on eBay, you go to the sold listings, and you could see what a box of One Touch Ultra is selling for, or a box of AccuCheck Viva Plus, and you can get an idea of what these boxes are selling for. Now, keep in mind, the one thing about this business is the residual repeat factor and the volume. You don't get rich off 1 box of diabetic test strips, because a box of diabetic test strips might only sell for $50, $60, right? You get rich when they have, 10, 15, 20 boxes and they come back month after month after month. And then you build up a client list of clients who sell you these diabetic testing supplies. And that's where this business gets lucrative. So just a quick recap. We're buying and reselling diabetic testing supplies. People get a surplus of supplies every single month right from their pharmacy. These are over-the-counter products. It is a business that just most people just don't know about. We do marketing. People call us up. We buy their extra diabetic testing supplies, and then we turn around and either resell them to a big name wholesaler / pharmacy with special contacts, or we sell them directly on eBay. eBay isn't bad for an intro start with this business. I personally just don't like it because of the rules, fees, limits, and chargebacks. But at the same time, it's not bad. But once you do a few deals, getting access to a private buyer is absolutely necessary to scale and grow this business. So this is how I'm basically getting free money from pharmacies. I'm never stealing a thing. We're buying and reselling over-the-counter diabetic testing supplies. So if you guys want to learn how this business works, I'm actually hosting a free live webinar training. It's going to be hosted on Zoom. It's going to be July 8th. Let me just confirm that by my phone. July 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Tuesday, July 8th. So if you want to learn how this business works, go down below, click the link, register for the free live webinar training where I'll break this business down, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.